we're doing out here?
Well, we've got a couple of tanks. We're going to be setting up a rainwater catchment system. Meriwether, I think he's got pretty good knowledge about setting up rainwater catchment also. We're basically going to be taking the water that falls on this roof, combined with the water that falls off the top roof, and then we're going to be diverting it down to a gutter, and then from the gutter we're going to create what's called a first flush system, which will capture all the debris and unwanted material from going directly into the tank. And if you want to tell them what the first flush is going to do.
Yeah, basically you don't want all the dust and the radioactive particles from Japan and stuff like that collecting in your water. So you collect about 10 gallons per 1,000 square foot of collection surface. You take that water and divert it to a separate holding area.
Okay.
And that takes all the leaves and the dust and so forth. And after that's filled up, it switches back over and starts filling the tanks.
Cool. So you guys have already started tearing stuff down over here.
Yeah, we had this steel frame over here that was standing straight up as a wall, and we spent most of the morning just disassembling that. And then Joe hooked up to the tractor with a strap and pulled it down. So now there's some old rusted threaded rod that is sticking up over here, and this is where we're going to put the tanks at. So he's now cutting those off so they don't pierce the bottom of the tank.
Cool. And here we've got the tanks right here behind me, towering. These hold what, 1,500 gallons apiece?
Right, correct.
Excellent.
Good old polyethylene.
We'll be hooking them up so we can expand as we get more tanks.
Excellent.
We're going to have the water run to one tank, and from that there'll be a manifold that we can keep adding more and more tanks too.
Okay.
So the goal is to have tanks all along the back wall there.
And there'll be a runoff or something for when they fill up, or?
Yeah, and then a lot of that will be diverted into the fish pond that we're going to build here.
That's going to go right here, where it was used for backing up trucks and a landing dock.
Just a loading dock.
Loading dock, okay.
We're going to clear all this out, put down a liner, put in water, put in fish, put in freshwater crab.
Excellent.
A couple other things we're going to try doing in there. Yeah. And see what we can grow.
Grow something out of nothing.
Yeah, and everything here that you see has a use of some degree. And it's just a matter of going through what's here now and figuring out what we can use it for. Like Meriwether was talking about this mesh down here. We don't know what it was used for originally, but there's a wire mesh there, and that's a perfect material to be able to catch large debris coming off of the roof, like leaves and things like that. And it's right here ready to go. We don't have to buy it.
Right.
So we'll just repurpose it for that, catch the larger stuff, and then go down to a smaller filtration system until it goes into the tank.
Excellent.
A lot of the other materials we're using, the PVC pipe and so forth, we're getting from the reuse warehouse.
Okay.
So it's all recycled stuff.
Yeah, especially with PVC, you just cut it and go with it again.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we can use that. I mean, there's a few joints and stuff we have to buy, but for the most part, it's basically with the dregs of society. Not the people, the the people.
Okay.
But you know, the trash and rebuilding something more sustainable out of it.
Excellent. I'm gonna go around the side here and go over here so we can see the whole thing. What a great idea. Okay.
What we've got is we got a group of different people that have various different skill sets, and what we're trying to do is bring them together in a collaboration to try and maximize as much information as possible. Like Meriwether here, he can tell you what he does.
Actually, well, I'm mainly known for my wild edibles website and teaching foraging classes here in the Houston area. But I'm also strongly associated with the emergency preparedness groups here in Houston.
Okay.
And also self-sustained living, basically building stuff from nothing and keeping your food and your water and purification and
That's right.
all that sort of stuff.
And I think people are starting to feel an intuitive vibe to start heading that way, and it's because of people like you that we've started going out like this season and trying our hand at a gardening in the backyard. And we just made our first garden, and it's so rewarding. But I think we're all kind of being pulled to come together and and help each other. And it's not about money. It's not about paying businesses.
It's really about our base survival.
It's right. Without food, what are we gonna do?
Exactly. Without all the other things, the trappings of the normal life are considered normal.
Right.
It's getting us back to what matters most: community, food, and sustainability. That's the only thing that really matters anymore.
Exactly.
Without those base things, and it's getting closer and closer to the questionability if those things are going to be able to survive the current, method.
Especially with the amount of people that we have on this planet.
What I do is I teach people how to live off grid. I'm a natural builder by trade, if you want to call it a trade. We use natural materials to build houses. We use found and repurposed materials to create different alternative methods of powering your home, heating water, heating air, cooling you down, different things like that. And at the same time, our goal also is to create a sustainable food forest in our area. We have property out in Waller, and if the homes aren't the main focus, then it's the food. And they play hand in hand. You got to have a place to live, and then in order to sustain yourself in that place, you have to have food.
Right.
So they play hand in hand. So we're coming here today, and we're kind of just getting together, and we're bringing our knowledge of aquaponics, rainwater catchment, all these different alternative methods, and we're trying to focus them into the Last Organic Outpost here and put those skills to use.
Excellent.
And the goal is actually to have this as almost like a learning center for people to come and see how you can build from and stuff like that.
That's right.
The tricks for water catchment, aquaponics.
And there's really not that much to it. You bring a group of people together, and it doesn't take much, and you can do a whole lot of things in a weekend, really.
Exactly.
As long as they're willing to work.
That's it.
Get their hands dirty.
Well, I think we'll tune out for now, and thank you guys so much for cluing us in into what's going on out here.
Thanks, man.